You must engage the darkness. If you are going to regain the memories lost to you, you must stay strong.
A lone child's presence does not bode well for the circumstances.
No one can pass.
And inquisitive. It will be difficult.
Well, that's just perfect.
But try to remember. You are never alone.
not the right one. I wanted him to like sling the slingshot so we would see it curve from one side, sling it up over his head to make it kind of drop down the center, and maybe a quick whip up around his head to throw it over, and curve it the opposite direction. So there's that approach. That's how I thought he would produce his magic outside like special abilities. So the special abilities would be like, see with him, that was the thing is like, I wanted him to, there's two different approaches we wanted to do with Lane's casting. It's having him charge up a cast by pressing buttons, or is it, and that's kind of like what Taj is doing, currently in the prototype. But Lane's hands would be moving in formation, and I guess I would have to make Taj's arms do something different than the block animations. But then again, that might be a resourceful tool to keep animations low if I could just make it not the block animation. But anyway, like, I really want to try exploring just Lane using a slingshot, and his projectiles are imbued with the loadings he has active. So if there's no active loading, he's just chucking physical damage. If a loading is equipped, his physical damage is amplified by the loading magic. So this allows for, if you have oil-covered enemies and he throws, one of his projectiles that are, combustive loading or flame imbued, the enemy would catch on fire for a sustained amount of time. So, ideas like that. But they take a long time to do. So I'll be my whole thought process behind the approach is to do the rough animations and try to get the rough animation for the movement done in the hour. And then the next day, come back and do the line work and clean the line work up for at least one frame. And then try to finish those, off camera. And then come back the next day and do the color fills for one frame. And maybe do the light and shade if I could fit that into 1 hour for one frame. And then off camera, I would do the rest and then, post and show off the final animation. Or maybe not. Maybe tease everybody. So, Bud, welcome, dude. Is it just you and me today? I don't have the YouTube opened up, so I'm going to do that. I know people are probably tired of seeing almost the identical image. Unless you've been watching us, you probably don't notice the image slightly changing each time. So they're probably thinking I'm spamming them the same video. Yeah, it's just you and me, but the image slightly changed, which is interesting. Well, like I said, oh no, here he is. Noah's in the house. Bangarang, buddy. All right, so Bud and Noah, that's great. No, I was just going through my breakdown, buddy, of what my next videos are going to be kind of covering. More game art stuff. Oh, since you're here, too, I love how that kid goes bangarang when he comes in. That's awesome. So, here's my progress so far on my opening page of my experimental comic for Beckoned. So, it's over detailed like crazy, but which I might have to shorthand it and find ways of shorthanding. But yeah, I'm getting there. It's this what we call tuners coming in on an airship into the Tree Kingdom of Tulabania, flying in on it, and it lands into port in the lower landings, where his job is to daily tune with the rest of the Watchers of the Nightmare Eater. So we'll see the airship docked over here, you know, and some environment stuff here in the background and stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to work out all the front work and get all that set up, and then go back. And Joe said the way I do stuff freaks him out, because it's like, why would you render all that now when none of this is actually, because in my head I see it. So if I have to correct things, I can. That's the convenience of digital art. So I'm just experimenting, you know. Why do I want to save that? Yeah, of course save. I don't know what oh yeah, I turned on the layer. All right, back to this. But yeah, we need Bud to get his wood carving shop going so he can do some beckoned carvings. Or just anything else. We need to get him his own channel. He's hilarious. I don't know, is it fair to say if it's 2021, if you don't have a channel, you probably have a job? But then again, there's a lot of people that do it with jobs too. You know, so Bud, we can get you set up. Just got to get that workshop. I'm teasing him. We've talked about it. But I missed Bancroft's last night. I should have jumped in and saw what was going on. I set my reminder for it, but I totally missed it. We had a fun show last night on Art Bros. Okay, contrast. Too much is getting muddy, Noah. Too much is getting muddy up in there. I need to bump up the contrast. I'm trying to figure. Okay, that's a spike coming off the elbow here. Yeah, I kind of can't wait to get into the animations. I kind of can't wait to get the background done on that comic page, because I want to get to the colors real bad. Rob the Replicator showed up in a blouse. Awesome. That's awesome. I should have saved like one of my old work shirts from like I've worked everywhere growing up. Pizza places, restaurants. Very few of them had the logo stitched on the front though. Cheaps. But yeah, it'd be funny to have like a Waffle House logo. Not knocking Waffle House, but I'll knock on Denny's. But yeah. To be all honest, I avoid both places. But now I'm gonna turn off this layer and see how our contrast is working out here. Okay, and so what ends up what I'm probably going to end up doing is starting to duplicate that layer and try to play with those darks and make sure that I'm finding a good medium between a good medium between these shades and the darks in these shades. So as things are seen in the distance, the details become hazier, the contrast gets less distinctive. So pull back out and get that on the same layer. Okay. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's why. Selections. Yeah, we had RJ from oh, goodness. We said it over and over and over again. Last night on Art Bros. Really cool guy. Has a really neat, fun, colorful book, too. Now, it's fantasy, so I'm like all into seeing something sort of familiar. So we had a fun time. Bud ended up hitting me up. He was like, that was a fun episode. Heck yeah. Yeah, Critical Blast. Yeah, that's what it was. Well, Noah, were you with us? Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. I remember you there. I was up late working. I ended up needing to slow down and stop giving out so many character bios unless I'm doing like non-main story character bios. Even though I still need to concept them out, I was talking about this one character who, but to avoid just showing everything before even anything gets experienced, it's no. Keep things on the down low as long as you can till you're ready. That it's just hard to do stuff like that, but especially like when I'm trying to all right, I gotta run more content, and then some confidants are like, well, game channel, right? Well, video game channel. I'm an artist. We'll do some game art. Well, concept art is game art. Well, no. Do some art that's going to be in the game. Gotcha. I think it's on to something, you know? Collision bomb, hey, hey. Yeah, some of us are still going to refer to you as Scoots. All of these name changes. Oh yeah, sorry guys. If I'm just drawing, not talking with my hands, might as well come on Photoshop. Let's go into it. So the other thing is, like, the detail I'm punching into this is much more detailed than what's in or what was viable to me back in the day. So what I'm gonna have to do towards after I've got the form basically in my comfort, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it, copy it off, and create another file that has it where it's cleared. But I am going to play with it in this composition to try to get it to blend in a bit more with the rest of the pencil textures. So, yeah, there's Scoots. Hope everybody's doing good. Collision book. See? What? She laughing about. Yeah, Noah, have you ever tried to do any kind of animation? Like, so back when I was in college, well, even before that, Flash animation was huge. And we started seeing like all kinds of people, artists, being able to use Flash in these fun ways, making these awesome cartoons. And, I heard in the indie comic groups, they give people a lot of guff for making webisodes or web comics or all that stuff. So I didn't know if you've ever played with any of that. But I could tell you, like, what I've told Art Jedi was, like, learning how to make the art move has been one of those things that was like, okay, if I can make it move. But then again, like, comic books themselves, like I was saying with Joey last night, it's like you're still able to tell the story. Yeah, it's time consuming. There's some approaches that you can take. Not the approach I take. An approach that I'm going to try to take. Not for my sprites, but for like cut scenes, like actual cartoon type stuff. You know, the whole advent of fast camera cuts, even in a subtle moment where not a lot of things are moving. You know, you get those slight animations and those slow pans on those, but most everything you can cut it quick. Your animation is just a collection of bunch of tiny animations you did. It's one approach I've been looking at. Oh, I guess Scoots read the comment of what happened on Bancroft. That's why she's laughing. I also tried making my average video game on 2 times. What engine were you using? There's different type of code. There's Dark Basic, there's Python, there's Unity, there's Unreal. Those both have visual scripters that are pretty nice. I do believe Dark Basic has a visual scripter as well. Unity, yeah. What kind of game were you going for? Platformer, beat 'em up? What were you looking for? First person shooter? Or like Ratchet and Clank? I made a ninja game with my buddy in 2 weeks. Where's that at? Oh yeah, I know where that's at. Oh, let's see. Excuse me one quick second. I'll zoom out of here. And while I find this. Because I think I could honestly say that this would be not the I guess the first independent game I worked on, and it was just like me and a buddy, like where we got something that you could play and, you know, it looped and kept your score. It wasn't anything too fancy. Where are you? Share, recent. Is it in the other folders? It should be right here. Anyway, it was a little ninja infinite runner ninja game a long time ago. I think we had 2014, something like that. Man, I gotta find that. Why do I talk about it and can't find it now? It was all over. I could find it the other day. Oh, serious? I thought that was it. Oh, Jeremy's Extras. There we go, right there. Let me download that.
Me a ninja cut.
Oh, I'm gonna have to mute that. Whoops. When it finishes downloading. Or maybe I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute it. That was loud. I wonder how long. But yeah, just with some simple animations, you could get something pretty fun. Continue doing this while that download. Show that off in a little second. Oh, that was fast.
Can't find me a ninja, cut his head off.
So yeah, you can see the parallax, the jumping over
That was a blooper.
jumping over the walls.
Yeah, did you see that shit?
I got overly excited. But yeah, you could cut their heads off. You had to dodge stars that were in the air as you were jumping over things. And okay. First person through levels. Gotcha. Oh, you need to package up with some VR people. I know a couple VR developers out here. Oh, and if I could find a technique to make two-dimensional sprites look good in VR, I have so many ideas on controls of the system, the implementation. If I could build it in the space and throw on some goggles and turn my head around and see what's wrong with it and what we would have to work around. I've got my sea legs in VR, so I don't get sick from it. Do you still have the project anywhere, Noah? There's some gaming communities, itch.io, if you ever get one ready to go and you're just wanting to see what people are thinking about it, it's a good place to throw it up there. Yeah, game jams are always real fun. And most of the game jams are working with 2D graphics. Very seldom, I mean, you still see a lot of them using the 3D graphics. Usually they're packs that people are buying because they don't have enough time to sit there in a weekend, and sculpt out all these. Then again, I don't want to say that because I'm sure someone will be like, yeah, watch this, and be like, it's a low poly, right? That's awesome. Keep going that. Low poly stuff has got a great style. But so get some speed game graphics to understand the fundamentals of, the game design, art design. It's things need to be shown clearly, and I'm still failing in some areas on that through the testing I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta adjust this a bit, I gotta adjust that a bit. The detail in the background, I've had the comment a few times that there's just so much detail, it's distracting me from the fight. And it's like, but when you play a 3D game and all those textures are there, do you get it? And then I psych myself out. And I'm like, well, the answer to that is the pixels and everything is pixeling out as it goes. So just by distance, the texture isn't as crisp. So yeah, the details fade and recede, so it's like, all right, so yeah, I might need to go back and fudge them out a bit or use a couple filters to haze out the background layers in different segments. Kind of like what I was showing you with the concept art background the other day. Like the closest stuff to you needs to be really sharp. Stuff mid-ground, start kind of pulling out a bit. Stuff farther out, start pulling out a lot. And if you're looking at a mountaintop that's 4 days journey with the sun on your back, make sure it's only got a few like detail features. You can tell what side the sun's hitting it or the light's hitting it. Maybe it has a special feature on it, but don't try to go too nuts at packing it with it's. People could want to see every rock. And if you do try it like that, it's a good practice to just understand like how light and how dark you can put those details, because you could still get them in. It just depends on how light or dark your marks are. And I've heard Joe and a few other guys talking comics that it's pretty binary when you're looking at the application because of inking process. Ink is pretty binary. So, yeah, I'm just really thinking out loud while I'm working on this. It's all happening. And these are things I've analyzed, so not necessarily what could be or what is. Yeah, like we have plans for a camping mechanic, which that's our save system. So as you go into a dungeon, yeah, I'm just jumping right into the game stuff. You'll be able to, once you progress a certain ways through, you'll be able to set up a campsite. And in that campsite, you can do things like save the game, sleep restore, save the game, kind of does the same thing. You can craft items in camp, and crafting them in camp gives you particular bonuses on the crafting efficacy, so like the quality of the object. So the whole idea here is if I can start making some game graphics, if they weren't the combat graphics, if I could start making some of the graphics for that. I've got a thumbnail of it that I've showed before, which I'm pretty sure I know where that one is. Hold on. Should be right there. Yep. Can I drag that over? Yeah. So you guys can see it. So I've shown this before. This would be like if you're crafting stuff. Very early on, I want to do a mini game, and that's still very plausible. You can see how the background, we're sitting down at a campsite. These are incomplete because we have 2 new characters that are going to be with you along these, adventures. It'd be like your characters moving around. You've got a campfire in the center, Lane's over here, Anel's over here. So craft your amulets, craft your items, and up around here, I'd be putting Dash and Yoka to be your, your store or your hunting rank, and then your bedroll over here by this torch is the save, sleep, restore, rest, pass the day along. basically don't go there until you're done crafting and doing all your stuff, because then day will pass. So yeah, like eating, stuff like that, preparations. Alright, I gotta get darker on that. Uh-oh. I also tried Mavericks Unity. Here's how it went down. I wanted to make a game, downloads Unity, starts to make character, uninstalls. Yeah. Yeah, you have to love what the whole process is. Making a character, like modeling one in Blender would have been your best bet, or Mudbox, or what's the other one? Mudbox. Oh man, I can't believe I can't remember which one it is. It's the one Harry used for our sculpture. Anyway, but yeah, Blender's apparently pretty good at doing stuff for beginners, and it's free, and there's a bunch of tutorials, so. But yeah, it's the rigging and the animation. You have to rig the bone structures. Your model has to be modeled and topography just right, so the folds in the arms and the bends in the elbows. Yeah, rigging itself is its own job. You could do that with 2D sprites, my dude. Making the levels, when I was your age, me and my buddies were making Unreal Tournament, the original one, making arenas with 3D Studio Max. So making environments is one thing. Making the textures, you can do after a few tutorials. You'll be like, okay, yeah, I got it. The next thing is just find those sprites from Doom and use them as reference for your own character stuff, and then you can start plugging away at the programming. So, there's this one. Oh man, if I can remember what it was. Indie first person fast-paced shooter. It's like, I've just been seeing stuff about it recently, or I can't believe I can't remember the name of it. But it's super fast, the graphics are nuts, and they use that old Doom 2D style with the whole thing, so totally a viable option. And then the next trick is to get it to run on a calculator. One of the Texas Instruments. Or like a photocopier. what we need to do is we need to seriously start thinking about a Switch port for Beckoned. We can get a hold of the license. We can get into it. We both are prepared that that'll be bugs, and we are kind of busy right now at the moment, but I would just love to have a Switch demo out there. But UI would have to change because everything's real tiny because it was built for PC. So we'd have to, I don't know. It's come up a few times. Yeah. There used to be a video where I played one of our early battle videos and posted it to YouTube, but I played it on the Switch, so it looked like it was running on the Switch in my head. But all right. Average is a hit. I just don't really. Oh no, dude, I completely understand that. Games take a long time, and they are difficult to make. I didn't wake up one morning and go, I'm gonna make Beckoned. I've been in the industry for a little minute, but always on small projects. So I've seen many start, seen many be ran the wrong. I've seen one ran the wrong way. We've rubbed shoulders with many that had started, and I don't know what happened to their teams anymore. And then I've seen ones blow up. I've seen out here in Orlando, we have the Full Sail College, and that's the big game school out on the East Coast, at least, of what I'm aware of. So they're chunking out these game developers and specialists every day. In fact, Joe's a graduate of Full Sail. I'm pretty sure it's where he got his degree from. And when I was in college, they had game development, but not game art. So I stayed in the illustration wing, and just talked about my game and worked on it as a concept. I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it while I was in school. Too much to concentrate on. Yeah, I actually emailed that old professor of mine. I emailed him I think it was 3 years ago. Just to say, hey, I'm talking about the one that it ended up threatening to flunk me if I smeared my work. He was excited to hear from us. Oh yeah, of course I remember you. It's so good to hear from you. It's been a while. Yeah, I'll check out what you got going on. But school's a great experience if you can get there. But then again, throw yourself to the wolves. You'll learn quicker. Just gotta survive it. Where are we at? 4 minutes. Oh, and that cape. In the back part of that weapon, and I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do on the tips. I remember there's a reference for it. Oh, gnarly. Okay. I had the idea. That's in the wrong spot. That's gonna get crazy. What was the handle? Okay, just a bunch of. Those aren't very equidistant, are they? Guys, again, thanks for hanging out with me today. Wasn't too much of a talk and didn't get too far on this. I mean, of course, we are completely redrawing a new character into a drawing started 15 years ago, so just trying to... Yeah, see, that detail's just way too small. So all that's going to be gone anyway by the end of this. But I still like the pose and the silhouette, so I'm going to go ahead and do the detail and finish that out that way. And then, like I said, grab it and pull it out somewhere else. Oh, cool. Yeah, do it, dude. Hey, to be honest with you, even gamers that have been playing games for a while... It's such a new system for them. They die every time. And some quit and don't try again. They're like, oh, I don't get it. And then they stop. When others are like, oh my God, this is cool. I see what you're doing now. So, yeah, try it out. Think about if you ever played Punch-Out on the Nintendo 64. So it's the box, or not the 64, but the, well, any of them really. Super Nintendo, but I think the most recent one was Super Punch-Out on the Wii. Think of that. So you have to think directionally, but it's mixed with like a Final Fantasy turn-based role-playing game. So turns are taken, but yeah, it doesn't stop. Time keeps moving, so you got to stay on your toes. But yeah, give it a try. Thanks again, everyone. Again, love you all. We'll be back again tomorrow. Pending on what happens, if you guys want to, let me know in the social medias. Do you want me to continue finishing this image or start jumping into the game art stuff? Obviously, you all hear where my mind's at. This whole time I've been talking about nothing but game art. But it's just been trying to get this character sketched in there so we can properly add him to it, and then I can start speeding up. So by next episode, by tomorrow, we should be moving through this a lot faster. So thank you again. Check out social medias, and yeah, I'll see you guys again later.